The weather predicted that it would be another sunny day today. Walking into town, however, was quite overcast but not cold. I was glad in a way because having to go to the public inquiry when it is a lovely, bright, warm day makes us lose the will to live. The sunny day did arrive when we were incarcerated inside. This evening, sitting in the garden outside my home, listening to the birds as I write this in the cool of the evening, is really very pleasant. Without any ceremony at all, we were right back at the road abandonment discussion. Today was remarkable by the number of personnel representing DfI Roads. I wonder, have they just awoken to the fact that they're in the middle of a public inquiry called by themselves, which ought to be overseen by people called inspectors, as referred to by the Council for Dalradian, Mr. Stuart Beattie. But when third parties queried if it was a public inquiry or a roads inquiry, we were told it was a conjoined inquiry, which we now understand that along with that title comes the fact that all the rules might be changed. So it seems like the rules that are applied to roads inquiries are conveniently waived, while the inspectors who are not inspectors, but who are required to be inspectors by the roads inquiry, are simply our well-loved, tried and tested faithful commissioners. They didn't seem to have different hats on today, or badges saying inspector, and indeed denied they were inspectors. Who knows who or what they really are? If you've got any idea, please send suggestions by postcard. The best suggestion will receive an SOS t-shirt. Mary Brawley quoted a number of regulations and outlined how procedurally the Commission seems to have broken them. She referenced Schedule 8, which may allow exceptions to the manner in which the inquiry is proceeding, but then said that these exceptions have not been outlined to third parties, thereby denying natural justice and the opportunity for everyone to speak. There was some conversation around Doug Hill's exclusion last week, which she pointed out that whilst Doug self-excluded and then was subsequently banned from attending, and the police called after he left, was it necessary to bar him from the rest of the inquiry? She said yes, Doug was loud, but she also pointed out commissioners have been loud as well and have even shouted at times. And also, while she agreed Doug had been rude by using one swear word beginning with the letter S, she categorically denied that he'd been threatening and wanted that on record. Pat Hawty then stepped in to request an adjournment, as all third parties were finding it difficult to replace Doug Hill's expertise and to give them a chance to get another expert, as the other parties, knowing that Doug Hill would be there to represent Save Our Sperns, did not have their own experts, and these experts are very expensive and difficult to get at short notice. Save Our Sperns also agreed to support Pat's request for an adjournment, as we had identified another roads expert, but haven't had the time to finalise it. The request was then passed to the other side. Elvin and Beattie, councils for DfI and Dalradian, both singing as usual from the same hymn sheet, were in agreement that it was not a breach of proceedings, and the removal of our roads expert was self-inflicted, and basically we should suck it up. Mr. Fagan, counsel for FODC, interestingly, seemed to be shy about joining this discussion and withheld his counsel. The Commission then adjourned for 10 minutes while they went away to discuss it. Save Our Sperns withdrew outside to contemplate this latest development. On our return, we were told the adjournment was overruled. We moved on then to tourism, led by Mr. Tom Tebbett on behalf of Dalradian, with little or no evidence stated that there seemed to be negligible recreational use of the road that is to be abandoned, and from this had drawn the inference that there would be no noticeable impact on tourism. Fagan for FODC countered with the wider picture, unspoiled landscapes that people want to visit, that they're not necessarily looking for a built attraction. In fact, that would take from the experience that they are actively seeking. Coming back to the subject of the replacement road, Logue from DfI, one of the Shire beings that inhabit this department, suggested that by adding 2 new bends onto the proposed road, it would slow down boy racers. Don't laugh, like this has ever been a problem there. And that there has been a partial relaxation of regulations given to the road because of these special bends. One might think you could find a better reason to replace a perfectly adequate existing local road than boy racers performing mating circles in their tractors. Regulation relaxation includes reducing the width of the road from 6 metres to 3 metres. Proposed road gradients will be 10%. And Pat Hawty went on to say that this road is a haul road for the mine and the design quality is so poor that the engineer who signed it off should be struck off from the chartered engineers. This seemed to upset the commissioners a little. He continued that the council wouldn't pass it even if it was just a dirt track specification, not one for a haul road as was being proposed. That it was obvious that the road was following the topography of the site and that there was no ground investigation, no geotechnical assessment, and he went on to spend almost an hour speaking about standards and the derogations from it. Read the proposed new road. Later on in the morning, Mary Brawley added in that there was no vertical and horizontal alignment, no scheme options report, no survey evidence, limited public consultation, no material assessment, no bill of quantities, no earthworks programme plan, no design drainage, no site establishment plan, no risk register. I can go on, but you probably get the drift. Dorman of Hoy Dorman, the company that drew up this wonderful plan for the road replacement, droned on for almost another hour, basically refuting everything that Pat Hawty and Mary Brawley had said earlier on. He started with, the first thing to keep in mind is that the replacement road should retain existing characteristics and distinctiveness of the route. The proposed replacement road will have a 4-foot high fence on one side and a significant security 7-foot high fence on the other side, with a toxic waste dump of 57 metres high and a gate/barrier at either end. Oh, there'll be one good thing though, there'll be a view to the south. And, of course, the road will be safe from boy racers. That's along with all the gradients and bends, etc. It will be tarred and to carry heavy loads. Contrary to what Beattie said, this will be a haul road no matter how they dress it up, as it is over-engineered to be simply a replacement road that nobody asks for. The existing road is more or less straight, with views all around, mature hedges, trees here and there, and is an absolute joy to walk on at any time, without barriers, without fences. Quite the contrast, you might say. And that's about all that happened today. Lots of very tedious and boring details which were trashed out hour after hour. They expect to complete this section tomorrow. We'll see you all then. And don't forget, if you're listening from Spotify or on Apple, do follow us. Give us a review, either written or press the stars. It really makes a difference. Thanks everyone, and see you soon.